Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Paid Perceptions podcast. This time live on Twitch, X, and YouTube. Very fancy. So my name is Sam Cohen. I'm the founder of Paid Perceptions, and
And I'm David Dasilma. I'm the director at Paid Perceptions. And before we start, I just have one slight thing of annoyance is that we were supposed to record this on Friday, and it's Thursday right now. And for Thursday, which is today, I scheduled a haircut in a few hours, and I wanted to look good for the Friday podcast and a trip that I'm going on. And now I have to have this hair that I don't want. So slightly annoyed, but I guess I have a new hat. Got it from Burlington with a gift card, so We'll have to deal with it.
anyway, death penalty for David for changing the date from Friday to Thursday.
Another flay death penalty. All right, what do we got today, Sam?
Okay, so we got 3 topics. Woo. So first one is from search. It's from the study was done by SE Ranking. The article is from Search Engine Land. It is that 30% of commercial queries, and this is about Google AI mode. So things in Gemini, when you search, you get the Google thing.
Like the overview?
The overview, yeah, and the AI overview. So 30% of commercial queries showed an ad in AI overview. So 1 out of 3 of those are actually showing an ad currently.
Okay.
71% of those queries have 2 advertisers present instead of 1. So basically, for 30% of the searches have 1 person present, and then 70% have at least 2.
Oh, I see.
Higher CPC queries were more likely to get ads. So the more expensive that your search would generally be. So like
lawyers,
B2B stuff, high intent was much more likely to be served on. Basically, what they've kind of done is taken the top 30% of their searches and then put the ads on those,
right?
Which I guess makes sense from a business perspective.
Understood.
And out of all of the categories, pets had the highest rate of ads. So ads about pets, while healthcare had the lowest.
Did you say pets? PETS?
Pets, yes.
Oh,
pets.
In what? Like insurance or like in what?
In general.
In general, okay.
Yeah, which I'm assuming because if you were gonna have the AI hallucinate a grievous way to harm, either your dog or your human child, I would assume the lawsuit for the human child would be easier to settle. Oh no, it's the dog. Oh my god. Yeah, no,
right.
The child would be easier to settle, of course.
Fair.
I said it backwards. But yeah, so another thing was that advertisers were rarely cited organically if they were running ads on paid.
What was the least one again? Insurance, you said?
The least is pets. The least is the least is healthcare.
Healthcare. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. The most is pets. So advertisers were rarely cited organically if they were running a paid ad. So the overlap between paid and organic really isn't that big.
I see. So if you're number 1 organic, let's say, then you're not showing up on ads. Whereas if you're number 1 on ads, you're not showing up organic. Whereas in the current regular system that it was prior to this, you could show up number 1. If it's like a Soundcore Boom, speaker, you show up for the sponsored, but then you also and a couple more advertisers, and then you also show up for the first ranking if you had like a good, SEO or AEO or whatever.
Yeah, there's just not. I mean, it does happen. There was like a 13% overlap, I think, in the amount, but it's not super significant.
Right.
If you were to show up, I don't think it's necessarily preventing you from showing up organically if you're paying for it.
Okay.
But similar to how Google search is, if you're not specifically optimized for the for being in the AI overview answer, you're not going to be you're just not going to be there even if you're paying for those keywords. So it's not the SEO part isn't really influencing at this current point the paid aspect of it.
Okay.
Whereas there's stuff like quality score for paid advertising, which if you take a page with a high quality score and a page with a low quality score for your keyword, you're going to be more likely to show organically if you have a high quality score.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's kind of what because it is a relevance metric, right?
Yeah, and there was also this has not never been actually proven, but if you this took a lot of this took a lot of data and a lot of actually AI help to analyze the data. But at one point last fall, I had decided to for a specific client see how much when things are good organically and or things are good paid, how it influences the other. And there was such a correlation that can't be proven because I guess if you can't, I mean, I don't think Google allows for like you shouldn't get a better Google ads just because your paid is better, but there's so many principle or sorry, your organic is better, but there's so many principles in organic that just lend themselves to good conversion rate optimization that if organic is because it has a good story or this or that, and this landing pages for organic are structured very well. If that same structure is being used for paid, then naturally paid would have an increase. But I actually think there was a bigger correlation. I actually saw in a way that if somebody was paying tons of money on paid and their stuff was all relevant and stuff, of course, that's like a baseline. It seemed to boost their organic as well. I can't prove that completely causally, but it really seemed like there was a correlation between the 2.
Yeah, I mean, if you're optimizing for a relevant landing page and
Mm.
it's your a big part of your quality score is like are those keywords on the page, which is the
Right.
same thing the SEO is looking at. So if you develop good landing pages and this is a big thing, right? A lot of times, landing pages, when we're doing paid, you don't include you don't have Google crawl the landing page. You keep it hidden from search engines
Yep.
because a lot of times it is just like some information and a form. It's not really
Yep.
like a comprehensive page.
Right.
But if you are able to make a page and you have it crawled for search engines, then it should show up organically as well,
Right.
ideally.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
but yeah, so as far as like discussion topics, do you think fewer people will use the AI overviews as they get filled with ads?
No. We're seeing I think you're gonna see an influx. Something I learned recently was that people still click on the first thing that they see. My child's mom actually, me and my daughter were actually laughing because like she's just been so trained from the beginning at marketing, and then she was like, "Did you know that mom clicks on the very first thing that like pops up that's sponsored?" I'm like, every single time. I'm like, "What?" I'm like, she's like, "Yeah." Even when she's trying to like log in to like services, which is why a lot of these companies have to you have exclusions. You don't want login or customer portal
Yeah,
or etc in your
yeah,
advertising, but so many forget to do that, and those are expensive clicks. And there are people, we used to call them red elbows because they're just online shopping and it click 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 the very first they're getting that red elbows, the very first thing that pops up, like, hey, I'm looking for like whatever cookware, boom, cookware popped up and it's like huge ad, click, I'm in it. And then like so those clicks are expensive and they're just pushing through. And I think the AI thing, the average person, once they actually understand AI to an extent, it usually stops right there. And AI is becoming as trustworthy to those people as Google. Whereas for me, it's kind of weird. I'll use this analogy. There's a lot of independent media, let's just say, right? And a lot of it happens on X. And we always think to ourselves, like, oh, I trust these independent media people because they're not biased like all the main news, Fox, CNN, all that stuff, the mainstream people, on whatever side of the equation, just mainstream. And then so we want to trust our like influencers and our X people or etc. Yet somehow, when we want to verify a story is 100% correct, we always go to the mainstream. I see that with AI with people who are more experienced. Like for myself, I'm very experienced in AI, but when I really want to know something, I trust Google for the answer. I trust articles for the answer because the AI is actually looking for the same thing I'm looking for, but I only have a certain amount of inputs, and Google only has a certain amount of inputs. It will find the top true story. Google's not wrong when it comes to that. When you search, AI will look for the top story, but there's so many that are coming in from so many different angles, it doesn't know which is which, and it will source you back to Google anyway. So, or Wikipedia, which is not 100% reliable as well. So it'll source you back anyway. But the average person, I would say, doesn't exactly know that. So it's going to be a double positive effect, I think, for advertisers because they trust Google fully, but now they want this easier thing where they don't have to read through the Google results at all. Google is giving them the result right there for you and giving if two in 70%, if 70% have two ads, then eventually it's going to be three. They're not going to be, Google's not going to be able to resist adding more relevant, like actually relevant advertisers, especially as those advertisers are. I don't know how it's working. Like if it's just search that's putting them through there. Can you explain that to me, Sam, for a second before I continue?
So like the way that like how to get the ads to like what
Yeah,
types
like
of campaigns.
In Gemini, when it's showing there, that's not an organic show. That is an actual ad. How is it showing in the AI part without showing in the where it would normally show? How is it showing in the AI part? Is my question. Is that like, or is that like
It
a, yeah, sorry.
it'll provide you like kind of similar to. I don't think it's at the top the way that. Let me see if I can just get one here quick,
Oh, sure,
just for to showcase what we're talking about.
of course.
So let's go for a general category for B2B. Let's do um, let's see, database services. Always a good one.
Yep.
Review. Didn't get one. I actually got here. I'll just show you what I got.
Sure.
I actually got the regular sponsored results
Okay.
above the AI overview, but
Right.
you
I
can
see.
just go to AI mode. It'll probably have a decent. Let's see, can we get? Here we go. So right, this
Wow.
is so I didn't get it in the AI overview, but I got it in the AI mode, which is rolled
That's
out as
actually
like
really interesting, to be honest.
yeah, and this is just a search. It is a search
Yeah.
ad.
Wow. Okay. The
Yep.
only so I think it's going to work really well. The only caveat I would have is for people who get more experienced with advertising, and maybe it's just myself as an experienced advertiser. There are some, you remember those, well, they still exist, those fake like news sites that have like a sort of like a story, but then it's just all sponsored ads underneath. Like it's just
Yeah.
the aesthetic of that looks like that. And that might not be the most attractive, but if they find a better way, they incorporate maybe more picture, more uh I forget what they're called, favicon, that kind of thing, then maybe it'll lend itself to look a little bit more organic, if you will. Even though there are people who, I mean, they definitely click ads because that's the bread and butter. That's why we have jobs, is people will click ads. It doesn't matter if they look like an ad or not, but the more aesthetically pleasing I think it looks, it'll do very well. And people trust the AI and they trust Google. Having them combined together, I think is a huge thing because people are giving up a lot of trust to both systems, for better or worse.
Yeah, I mean, at the current state, I mean, personally, it's a lot clearer to me that this is an ad, and it also
Right.
showed under the rest of the result,
Right.
which is like a big improvement compared to like how Google regularly like if you and you saw like when I showed like all of them, I got 3 ads at the top even before the AI overview,
Yeah.
and it does say they've made it a little clearer with the sponsored results thing here.
Hmm.
But like as far as user experience is concerned, I think generally that kind of ad actually looks well. I think it feels better like using
Right.
the service. Um, when like Google will do this where they will take they'll start out something where it's really user friendly
Hmm.
and doesn't have advertising, get a bunch of people using it, start integrating advertising, and then push it until people will stop using the service,
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
or or until they
Mhm.
like find that it's starting to get super intrusive.
Right.
So Google will continue. I 100% guarantee that the the results will not be as clean in the future, looking like this, where it's
Okay.
like fairly obvious what
Right.
is the ad, and there's going to be more different. Of course, it's going to be different types of ads, right?
Right.
Um, because the one that I showed was a PMax campaign
Mhm.
that was showing there, but and they already kind of forced the hand of advertisers by basically making it so you can only serve on like using AI Max or PMax in
Gotcha.
the AI overviews, which is like also it's just limiting in itself.
No, Google is like, it's like Disney, or actually the only thing that can beat Disney is Universal Pictures with, Fast and Furious 18 or whatever. They're just gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until they're not making money, and they keep making money on it. So user experience dies a little bit. Customer service is unheard of. I It does not exist anymore whatsoever. Not even they don't even they don't even let you use robots. They don't even use the AI anymore. Like there's literally no customer service at Google, but they don't care because they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And then until there's like some sort of alternative that they don't purchase. Like I think what DuckDuckGo lasted for a while, and then Google just bought them or something, or it was using the same. They were using the exact same things after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, DuckDuckGo is still on Microsoft's ad network,
Oh, okay, that's right.
but
Yeah.
the thing is that Google has helped, like Google, in order to not be branded as a monopoly on
Hmm.
search.
Hmm.
Google specifically helped Microsoft is actively helping Microsoft Ads develop their search.
Right.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
so
that big lawsuit in
yeah,
England.
because they're from an outside perspective, and frankly from an inside perspective, they are a monopoly
Yeah.
effectively.
Mhm.
Um, and so that's part of the reason that Microsoft Ads has gotten better is because Google has been helping them develop their own advertising products so they don't suck as much.
Right.
So people are more likely to use them.
Yes.
Because a lot of people might use Bing, but a lot of advertisers just won't bother.
Isn't that the
Because,
second time Microsoft got an assist? Like, didn't Apple in the '80s, like, help Microsoft as well? They're always
yeah,
they're always just, like, feeding.
Microsoft is just like they've gotten second best and then just like tried to and then like they're like, yeah, let's like invest in like let's get Yahoo on here, and then Yahoo
Right.
goes the way of the dodo, and then it's like
Mhm.
okay, so you have Yahoo, congratulations, it's pretty useless
Speaking of that,
nowadays.
it's something just frustrating about that is, LinkedIn, which is no longer Microsoft, but, LinkedIn
Isn't.
is I don't think it is 100% Microsoft anymore. I thought it branched off on its own. Maybe I'm totally getting that wrong. You wanna verify that for me? Um, I thought it branched off for some reason, but it's so weird that, a beta that they're introducing is day parting. They started with like, we had day parting. We had it. It was working. Like, we had stuff like that. Or not day parting, I don't think we had that. I think, it had sorry, where you can schedule ads, like, in a sequence, like, meaning you want this amount of audience to hit. You used to be able to on LinkedIn. You want this audience to be hit with this amount of or this type of messaging, and then you want to retarget an audience and hit them with different kind of ad, and you could do it in layers. And they got rid of all that stuff. There's so many features. I'm noticing whether it's Meta, whether it's Google, whether it's LinkedIn. Unfortunately, it seems like the cost of business is the bigger they get and the bigger their infrastructure and the more money they make, the more successful they are, they reduce features, which makes things really, really hard for manual advertisers, meaning people who are pulling the levers actually and strategizing, etc. What they're trying to do is almost cut out the need for someone like you or me, and they want the user for whatever price. The user just can press a button and do the accelerate function or whatever, and then it'll build all the campaigns for you, and it'll advertise for you, it'll make all the placements for you. Yeah, and it'll also spend as much money as humanly possible, while of course trying to get you the best result. But they just want it straight to owner, straight to CEO, straight to company. and no marketing person, even in the company in between. Just press a button, and your accounts, your campaigns, your creatives, everything's done for you. We got it. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I see the entire all the platforms are trying. They're trying to head to. It's not working, and it's not going to work. But that's just a trend that I'm seeing. They're just willing to give up so much on things that matter long term, like customer service, like this and that, just for the short term gains. I don't see the knowledge. I don't see the wisdom in that at this point.
Yeah, they are still owned by Microsoft,
Oh,
like
okay.
fully.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Um, the I think like as far as one thing that I advocated for, especially before LinkedIn had things like the account level UTM parameters, which was like
Right,
a ridiculous thing to not include.
right, right.
Um, like I spent, we had a big database client and they changed their name
Hmm.
and we had to make a completely new ad account because back in those, when we did it, which was like 6 years ago, and if you didn't do it, you had to like make a whole new LinkedIn page. You had to make a new ad account. It was like a
Yeah.
real pain.
Hmm.
I had to manage. I had this UTM builder, and I had to redo the UTM's on like 400, like over 400 ads manually one by one.
Oh my god.
It was completely miserable.
Yeah.
So like I've always kind of supported the further integration of Microsoft ads and LinkedIn ads
Right.
as like a because the LinkedIn like Microsoft ads has an offline editor. Is it as good as Google Ads editor? No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
not.
You're right.
But
Mhm.
is it better than LinkedIn's web interface? Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah. Very
So
manual. Very manual.
it's like if you're talking about companies that are managing hundreds of ads, it really does. There's a lot of grunt work involved still, and Meta is the same way. Meta like has very limited. Now you can like on Meta and on LinkedIn, you can upload and download campaigns from like a file, but it's still such a pain.
Oh,
Um,
don't move too quick on Meta. It will flag your account for, you know, 3 weeks, telling you that you're a robot. Sorry, like if you're actually building and clicking fast enough, like you're actually just in your flow, have headphones on, playing music, work. It flagged you. We couldn't get back. By the time I left the California agency, there's a client that we still I had tried to help them, but it's like 6 weeks. We couldn't get the account back because there's no customer service people. There's nobody. There's nobody to find. You can't find it. That's it. Like so, you go through the customer service tree, and then all of a sudden, somehow you end up like on hold or something, and then all of a sudden, after like an hour and a half on hold, it just cuts off, and that was it. That's it. That's it. Like try
Meta is
again.
the worst, man. It's like, you have to be spending like to get a dedicated rep, and by a dedicated rep, I mean just a human being,
Yeah,
not someone like actually dedicated to your account. You have to be spending like at least 500K a month.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the initial reps that you get are no offense to them, so I'm not gonna say it, just imagine the worst. And then, but then once you pass a certain threshold of spend, all of a sudden you get like strategy, you get like these betas, you get like these, you know, real competitor insights. You get all this magical stuff. So I guess the lesson is, sorry, super small businesses or small businesses, you got to spend 500K to $1 million. You just have to. Like
Just like get good.
yeah, yeah. Just make better product, okay? Like
Yeah, like why can't
yeah,
you spend millions on Google
like,
every
why can't you
year?
be the next iPhone moment? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, come on. Like, what do you need us for?
Obviously, you don't desire it enough. It's
Yeah, yeah. Check your motivations. Create a design board or whatever, a vision board. Sorry.
but yeah,
Oh,
so I think we're going to move on to the next topic.
okay.
Next topic is Google tests search, like so for PMax, right?
Mhm.
The original thing with PMax is they're like, this is your comprehensive advertising solution, and you're going to be able to serve ads everywhere, and you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to determine anything
Yeah.
as to what you're going to do. Um, kind of opposite to how Google treats the consumer. Google treats the advertiser just in the opposite way. So with the consumer, with the AI overviews, they going slowly and trying to make them not too intrusive for the ads.
Yeah.
For the advertisers, they basically, instead of like just like boiling the frog slowly, they just immediately throw you in boiling hot water and say, "Hey, this is our new product. Use it." Which is what they did
Yeah.
for Performance Max with absolutely no restrictions on it
Yeah.
whatsoever,
Hmm.
and you couldn't change anything. And it was like, "This is our new um, PMax thing," and it's like perfect. It's like so good,
Mm.
and it sucked.
Yeah.
And they've gradually over years added restrictions like you can make to it, negative keywords, stuff like that, so it
Yeah.
doesn't absolutely destroy everything in your account, and it's kind of usable. Um, so Google is testing
Hmm.
adding an exclusion for search partners and the display network.
Okay. That should have been. Sorry. Sorry. I'll wait. Is there a question, or because
No, that's pretty much it. That's from
I
search engine land.
because I can go off on this. Oh my god, the PMAX drama that I went through in 2025, 20 or 2026, sorry. Um, for 6 months. No, no, sorry, 5 months in 2026. It's just full PMAX drama. Like that's just with one client. Like PMAX is, it got so bad to where there's a marketing magazine called, or it's like a newsletter called the Playbook. I commonly said, "Hey, I think PMAX is being." I was trying to be, tactful with the client. I'm like, "I think the PMAX is being like unreliable, let's say, or whatever." And then that literally that same day, there was an article that came out and it said PMAX is a lie. Don't believe anything. It's a lie because that's what it is. And I'm glad they said it because Google could have beef with them. But there is a rule in, you know, uh, so it's written down. So that's libel. There's a rule in libel and defamation where the truth is a defense, and that Google is not going to sue the playbook because that is the truth. The lies, the lies, the lies. Oh, I wanna pull up data so bad right now. I'm not going to, but, the what PMax did was steal. They said that if you read the Google documentation today, it still says that if there's a toss up between search and PMax, search will always win. They'll always, lean on the search. Okay, anybody who knows anything who about anything who's done anything, go into your accounts, have PMax on, have the same general keyword themes, etc. Have exclusions as you need to have them now that you can have them. Not that they listen to them at all, but and then run your search, and then all of a sudden you'll see PMax take all the budget and go through the roof with these low end, no intent searches, taking every single search, and then your bread and butter searches where you're actually, you know, PMax is PMax is meant to like capture the net, like unless PMax is retargeting, and I'm not talking about ecom. Unless PMax is retargeting, it's meant to capture a wide net in areas that your people may not, or that your regular search may not be in like the Gmail or etc. Discovery, the YouTube, mastheads and stuff like where maybe it's creating some demand gen, some top of funnel stuff, and then of course retargeting, especially with the video portion of it. But it's better to do it completely separate because especially when you have creatives on PMax that are for the display network. Oh my goodness, because PMax, believe it or not, it has the display network is part of PMax, but also just images. And you're like, well, where are these images even used if they're not used on display? And they're like somewhere. And try to find this data. And here's a test that we did. Oh man, we did this test live. So on a client's account, I found exactly the exact match keyword for a specific, very so specific niche thing. You click on it, and the long and short of it is, I tested. I could see where the fake conversion came through. I could see where the click was, etc. I found the exact click, and PMax stole it. And then tried it again, completely turned off PMax. PMax didn't steal it. We it was like it was a real time, real life test on Google to actually test with all the data that we had anyway. We already proved it, but to test live, does PMax actually do any of what it says that it does? So yeah, no, PMax was shoved down everybody's throat. And the thing is, the name, I'll be honest. I love, like I said last podcast, I love the name PMax, Performance Max, dude. That just sounds like a win. It just sounds like you won. Like I want to be a marketer that is part of Google's team that sat in a boardroom and came up with the name Performance Max. It's amazing.
Yeah, like
Performance
smart
Max,
campaigns.
dude. Smart campaigns. I don't know. That sounded a little weird to me. Like smart campaigns, like what they were dumb the whole time. I had a client that ran smart campaigns. I felt so bad for them. They were like, "Oh," they showed up. It was a plumbing client. They showed up and they're like, "Well, we don't know what happened. Like, we're not making $1 more in revenue, but we had like 5,000 conversions. We had 5,000 conversions last month." I was like, "What? 5,000 conversions?"
5,000.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's a smart campaign."
It's so good. Yeah,
Sorry.
like run yeah, like totally getting a page view conversion for a plumbing company when you're 500 miles away, smart, you know.
That's exact you nailed it. You nailed it. That's exactly, what those were. Yeah, so no, my feelings on PMax, like I had a client, the year before, and as soon as they showed up and if their whole count was PMax, I was like, "Okay, first thing we're doing is breaking this up." And, like, we literally just broke it up. So and I was like, "I'm gonna show you where you're spending your money." And then they're, like, confused. They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Okay, so we're gonna miss some of the categories like this discovery and Gmail, etc. We're gonna break your same PMax campaign. We're gonna take that PMax. We're gonna do search, display, and video like YouTube separate. We're gonna spend the exact same budget that you were spending on those campaigns, and you'll see where your money is being tanked down the toilet." And it was all display. It was all the
It
whole
always
thing.
is.
The whole thing was display. Their whole budget was display. You know.
And it's like and the thing is too, like the demand gen campaigns, which were previously discovery, are
Mhm.
actually like more feature complete, in my opinion. Like
Mm,
they don't include search, but you can also limit you can create a remarketing demand gen campaign
right.
that actually just does remarketing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I actually forgot about demand gen. That's that new that was a little bit newer. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember when I was troubleshooting, trying to figure out a way around PMax for somebody. Demand gen was actually recommended as a pretty good alter. I never got to do it, but pretty good alternative to try
It
to
is
like yeah
because it serves on Gmail, it serves on Discover, it serves on YouTube, and you can specifically check it to not serve on the display network.
right
Which means you don't have you're not restricted by uh I mean PMax is better now, it was worse
yeah
before.
yeah
But the fact that
depending
depending, yeah, um if you were like running e-commerce, it was actually okay.
yeah
um I considered it better than smart shopping almost immediately.
mm,
But it really did depend, and it did run into the same like restrictions as uh, smart shopping didn't give you any information anyway.
right
Um, so I don't know. It's just like, but it's good that they have that they're. I mean, this is an alpha, right?
yeah
So I want to say like chances are it won't be implemented, but I almost think that the feedback they're going to really the feedback they're going to get from this is it's amazing, obviously,
right
because anyone who rejects more options
yeah
for the sake of like, and they're going to come on by default anyway. So Google's going to measure what they do in these cases is they're going to measure how much revenue they lost in fraud on the Google Display Network.
right yeah
And the search partners, and then they're going to say, okay, is did people spend more money on PMax comparatively? This is what Google does. Are they
mhm,
going to spend more on PMax without the fraud than we would have gotten from the fraud?
yeah. It's just
And
it's whatever calculation ends up
and
and yeah
yeah, it just like straight pragmatic. It is not
yeah
about is this a better experience for advertisers?
mhm,
Like, do these campaigns work better? It is
right
100%. Do they spend more on PMax if they have the option to turn the fraud off?
right
And I think in this case, it's going to be yes.
yeah
because I would be significantly more willing to invest in PMAX if I had the option to turn the fraud off.
Yeah.
Not,
You mean you don't want your ads showing on happyrabbit.xyz?
God.
And the thing is, guys, if you guys don't aren't really versed with display in its true form, then understand that every week you're having to exclude thousands and thousands of sites. And I've ran scripts, and there are scripts you can find online, I'm sure, that go in and erase every single thing you can imagine. And then still, there are some, lists that you can find that have 50,000 exclusions, not a drop in the bucket. It seems to me there's billions of website being created like every week. So your ads are exposed on those sites. Some of them I didn't even understand how they worked because I go to the site and there's nothing there, but they're like aggregators or whatnot, and they don't even have the real Google AdSense. They don't have any of that. They just somehow I don't understand the math of of the fraud. I just know it's fraud that can't be stopped. That's why when you when just a side note, not to just pick on Google, let's pick on everybody for a moment. Whenever you're evaluating a programmatic platform, you know, be very wary if they tell you that they can exclude themselves from all the fraudulent networks, etc., or whatnot, because that is impossible. You want to listen and hear how much they can exclude and what their process is and how often they exclude. Um, because I've heard so many promises of exclusions, and then they're like, "Oh, email us 10 websites a week, 10 your domains a week that I want to be excluded." In the sea of billions that they're actually putting your, if you're not careful and you're not reading where your placements are going to be, they're actually putting your placements on. Now, there's other things to mention about programmatic where you're going to actually be very specific in where you want your placements. Like, let's say I was working for a life sciences company, so we knew exactly which magazines, etc., and we had a narrow targeting list. But that still doesn't exclude everybody else, which is billions, guys, billions. Like with the B, billions of websites you're being exposed to, and throwing your money down the toilet for that. So
Yeah, and it's like, for programmatic, like you can often be pretty selective, um, but you have to like, but it's expensive and you have to be
mhm.
careful. But it's like, can you run like you can run ads on like I always remember like ESPN was a big
Oh yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
uh, like the ESPN network. But like you got to be careful because there's a list of domains that are under the ESPN network, and you get like
Mhm.
some real trash in there,
Yep,
and it's
yep,
like so some of that is just the price of doing business,
yep.
that you have to be able to weed out the good and the bad. Um, but some of it is like the real kind of only way to fix it is either to not be present on those networks or have Google optimize or whatever platform you're using towards a conversion that is not easily faked.
Right. This is a sidetrack, and you might not know this, Sam. Just had a quick question. It just popped in my head. Like companies like ClickCease, like the click fraud
Yeah.
type of companies. I used to know how they work. How do they work? Like, how do they figure out like that there's fraudulent clicks and get refunds from the platforms and stuff like that? Like, how does that? Do you know how that works at all?
They do a couple things. Like one is they compile lists of domains that they consider suspicious,
Hmm.
and they'll basically monitor the effects of like if they get a click, if they see a click came from whichever domain that they think is suspicious, then they'll like look at the behavior of that, like the IP address, for example, of that particular click, and if it's like from a VPN, for example, it'll mark it as invalid.
I see. Okay.
So, and they took take a look at, you don't have a lot of options for IP address exclusions in Google Ads, for example, but
Right.
a lot of it operates based off of like, is there is this like a popular VPN, uh, IP address, and
I see.
then marks that as fraud from there.
Got
They're
it.
like, they can be somewhat effective,
I see.
but it's hard to get a well, one, it is at the end of the day, it's kind of difficult in a lot of ways to determine what's a robot and what's not.
Yeah.
Um, because there are people, and I ran into this all the time. There are people who legitimately click ads and submit forms, and they do it multiple times. It's
Yeah.
insane, but real human people do this.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the school stuff that we worked where we had to go in. Guys, we literally had to go in on every Tuesday, I think it was, and comb through every single multiple submission. And the problem with this is like, yeah, how you can use, let's say, a VLOOKUP and find these things, and then you can dedupe, etc. Because a person will do a submission and then they'll have like one spelling wrong in their name, or what part of their phone number is wrong, or what, but it's the exact same person, and they clicked through this or that. It was actually interesting though. It did I do remember it did help us sometimes find out where our targeting was crossed, because the same
Yeah, it did.
person did pop up through one channel that they shouldn't have popped up through because they should have been excluded, and then they popped up through another whatever geo. So it was a little bit helpful in the tiniest way, but yeah, deduping was really difficult for. I couldn't believe it until, as Sam was just explaining, I couldn't believe it until I saw it in real life that a person, it's like it was a school thing. So like, I get it. I just started school again myself. You get hyped up, I guess, because you want to talk to the registrar when you like have it in your mind. But 7 times in like 10 hours, like just wait for them to call you back.
It's just like you get you get these people, and it's like, okay, 2 years ago they clicked on a campaign that, and that campaign for a school we're not even running anymore is getting credit for this because
Right,
that was the first click. Before we had like a more complex distribution model,
right.
and it's like this person made 26 clicks over the past 2 years on like all of these different campaigns, all of these different programs, and it's like they finally made a purchase. And it's like, what are you supposed to do with this? Like, uh, people do it.
I gotta
They
say,
do.
I was making fun of people, but I just thought about my favorite sweater. It has just an American flag like this. It's black. I remember I had it I had it in my cart on Amazon for 18 months, and every time I had to buy something, I would delete it from the cart and then, like, buy the thing and then re-add it to the cart. It wasn't even in, like, a watch list or something. It was so expensive. I was like, "I can't afford to buy this sweater, but I will buy it one day," and then 18 months later, I bought the sweater. So I'm one of those people, I guess. Because like, when they're testing to see, "Oh, abandoned cart. Wait, back in the cart. Abandoned. Wait, back in the cart. Wait, back in the cart." So I always just got ads for this, like, sweaters or, like,
Right.
other
Yeah.
accessories that are Uh, sometimes we're just as bad as the consumers because we're all consumers as well, right? So
At the
anyway,
end of the day, yeah.
fair. Third topic for today.
Um, let's see. So this is from originally from eMarketer on Search Engine Land.
Okay.
ChatGPT could miss their 100 billion revenue target. So ChatGPT ads in particular.
Okay.
Um, so by 2030, they said they would hit 100 billion in revenue from ads. They're currently on target to miss that by 90%.
Well, game
Uh,
is really early.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, if things were to continue as they currently are, which they won't, they would only make $5.4 billion.
Oh, that's it.
Um, so yeah, that's it. Uh, do you think ChatGPT ads are dead in the water?
No, I think they're nothing at the moment. They haven't even started. They're not even. I think they're nothing. I think there's no assessment to be made. I think OpenAI is in a world of trouble for now. I think everything will get settled with Apple. But I think that's a big deal. I think the Elon stuff was bad enough, and OpenAI is just tattered history. Is just weird in general. Like, they were supposed to be open source AI, open source nonprofit, and then I've worked in situations like this before, actually, where all of a sudden a nonprofit somehow owns a for profit that then buys the nonprofit or something, and that's how they did it.
I was like,
So it was
"Oh,
all
wait, we're making money now?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
screw this nonprofit thing.
exactly.
I'm not doing this anymore."
Exactly. So they have all that tattered history in the first place, and then right now with the Apple situation, I think the brakes are gonna have to halt until they figure out the Apple thing because you don't listen. Business world, from what I have keep gathering day by day, is very, 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 very timid, shy, reactive, scared, like petrified. Like there's complete scaredy cats. There's no such thing as, I'm risk on, let's say, every company in the world, period, if they're at a certain size, which is the kind of size that we're talking about for OpenAI and stuff, the mitigation of risk is risk mitigation, compliance, risk mitigation, legal. I think those are the biggest factors in any decision that a company is making. So no matter how cool, no matter how trendy, no matter how awesome a company may be, there are certain things like when, let's say, when Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan show like 11 years ago, and he took two puffs of a joint, like the stock tanked immediately because that's how shareholders in the big holdings, like not just you and I retail, that's how they see things. They see, oh, risk, unhinged, done, finished, got to get out, move. OpenAI having a lawsuit with Apple that's unsettled, that's gonna that no advertiser like in the big scale of advertising is gonna be dumping all their money into OpenAI advertising unless there's a few that want to like be more cavalier, and I think that's going to be like the more startup types, even that have a lot of funding, for example. But when it comes to like these big legacy companies or whatnot, all scandal is bad. There's no for them that whole idea of like there's no such thing as bad publicity. Incorrect. Risk mitigation, risk mitigation, risk mitigation. The way they see it, guys, and this is the way I don't see it. Oh, there's a lawsuit with Apple. OpenAI may go down and not be a company anymore, and Claude and Gemini or Anthropic, etc. They will be the new AI. This is going to go down the tank for now. When everything gets settled, and as the more smaller companies test out all the features of the OpenAI ChatGPT type ads, I think there'll be a proving ground, and I think they will be on pace to do the terrible numbers. But I think at some point, probably 2028 or something, like when everything is settled, everything's good, AI models have moved past a certain amount, adoption is really good through companies. People have figured out how that works through, employment and displacement and non-displacement, etc. By 2028, I think you're going to see a huge boom, and they'll probably pick up all the all of what they lost left on the ground, and I think they might exceed the goal that they had, the $100 billion goal or whatever that they had. They might exceed that with the pace of progress because things are slow, slow, slow until they're not. Then they hockey stick, and AI is just it moves so fast, and advertising and big dollars. Everybody's in a race to be number two. Nobody wants to be number one. Nobody wants to make the first move and dump all their money into OpenAI, dump all this and that, but to be number two, everybody's in that race. So once they have proven the number one use case, everybody's fighting to be number two. And you're going to see prices of advertising, prices for correct placements, especially once there's data to show sales numbers improving. You're going to see a complete battle for that. And I think it's going to be expensive. In fact, I don't think it's going to be cheap to get top placements on AI when everybody's using it.
Yeah, I mean, the CPCs for ChatGPT ads are already sort of high. I mean, the
Mhm.
base CPC they recommend is $2,
Damn.
which
Mhm.
like isn't. I mean, if you were, it's just starting out. They don't even
Yeah.
have. You can't even run campaigns for conversions, only for clicks.
Right.
They just added conversion tracking, and CPC is already that high.
Yeah. And $25 a day minimum.
Yeah, $25 a day minimum.
That's already 3K. Or sorry, 1K ish a month.
Yeah, so it. I think yeah, ChatGPT, like it's like incredibly early to say that yeah, it's missing its targets. Well,
Yeah.
of course it is because um are the big guys going to invest in a platform where there's one targeting option,
Right.
like one type of ad, and you can't optimize the campaigns for conversions?
Right.
Probably
Exactly.
not. They might test it and say, like, Amazon will do this for, like, I'll just use Amazon as an example.
Hmm.
Um, we were doing birth control, and I think you might remember this.
Yeah.
Amazon, like, when they were first started their
Pharmacy.
telehealth stuff,
Yep.
they ran birth control ads for like 6 months, and then
Yep.
they really ran it and then stopped.
Yep.
And they did that because it's a large company, and that big organizations will test like something to see if they can make it effective,
Yep.
and then they'll stop. They'll take it higher up the chain, and then they'll make the decision
Hmm.
as to whether to actually move forward with this type of advertising or not. So there's going to be phases like that where bigger players are eventually going to dump, you know, 500,000 a month or something into advertising on ChatGPT. If it works, then they'll stop, and then, there'll be a set of the standard players.
Yep.
But
No, I fully agree
yeah,
with that.
but yeah,
Um,
it'll be interesting.
yeah, another is just I don't know. This is like more of a macro trend in marketing. I'm just noticing it more and more and more. It's just very interesting. I'm noticing marketing is starting to be a dirty word, and it's weird. Like the way that you hear me talk about salespeople and how sales shouldn't be a dirty word. Like without sales, like nothing would get done. um it's just funny how the reaction is. It's like, because marketing is a slower version of sales. It is just by nature. It is a sale. It's just a slower version of it. It teaches people, etc., and that's what a sale should do. But the way I almost picture it, is that, like, as marketers, like, we're casting out a net, right, to, like, let's say magical fish. I'm just making this up. And then we're bringing those fish actually decide. They're swimming around. They decide, do I want? It's not like the way real fishing works. They decide, do I want to be caught by this net? And that's marketing. And they get caught by the net, and they allow themselves to get pulled in, meaning they're on the landing page, they're checking stuff out, they're doing this and that. Then maybe they fill out a form. The sales then becomes the people that say, okay, like, do you want to be chopped up and eaten and become part of a human body? Now, it's not going to hurt. Like, for some reason, the fish have, let's say they have this magical power. It's not going to hurt you, but, like, I can't prove to you that it's not going to hurt you. I can prove that once you become part of the human, you're going to be having all these cool experiences. Everything's going to be awesome. You're going to be part of them, like, forever. But we have to, like, chop you up and eat you first. And that's like what people feel when they're in a sales call. They can hear, I've been in a lot of sales calls, and I'm actually now seeing that people see every benefit in their mind. They see what the potential is, they see the possibility, but they've been chopped up in the past and it hurt. They don't think they can get through it without any pain this time. And there could be, there may be no pain at all. Like, maybe it takes 90 days for things to start rocking and rolling, but they stay even for 90 days and then they improve. But what they see is money that they're putting out ending up nowhere. And I'm just noticing that more and more and more, where, it's always been that way, where marketing always gets cut, etc., or whatnot. But I'm just seeing, like, people have a visceral reaction that I've noticed anyway when it comes to sales. Of course, it's always like that, but marketing now is getting that as well. That's why I feel like it's so important for us within our industry to weed out bad actors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And just, do our best work regardless, because I think, like, a few bad apples do spoil the whole sort of bush. And what I mean by that, by bad actors, I just mean, this new trend of, if there's no oversight, people just, getting hired based on creating all their resumes on AI, and then every single campaign just dump it in AI and just let it do what it wants to do. That person might as well be paying Google to press the button, you know what I mean, and not have a marketing agency or a marketer or something like that. But I'm seeing so much of that just happen in general. When I was screening for interviews at the old job, when I was screening people, it was just so obvious they didn't know anything, and that it was all chat gbt. I was like, how are I'm like, power to you, but for even getting I was round two interviews, power to you for even getting through to me, but like you're not moving forward. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, what are your thoughts?
I just want to say it's an excellent fish metaphor.
Thank you. Magical fish
True,
though.
truly
Magical,
magical fish.
magical, because I don't know if they hurt, if they feel pain or not. I can't.
Yeah, with a bit of apples spoiling the bunch thrown in there at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think to a certain degree, how do you want to view marketing? I mean, marketing people see like as like conning people into buying something that they don't want or they don't need,
Right.
which to a certain degree is true.
Mhm.
In that there are always going to be things that you don't need.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so, selling you a very fancy T-shirt or like, whatever newest iPhone you probably don't need at the end of the day.
Wait, not
Yeah,
that respect my authority South Park T-shirt. That's not what I need. I thought I'd respect my authority.
well, that's a human right. Everything I like is a human right. Everything I don't like should be banned.
Fair enough. Noted.
um, but yeah, I think a lot of what marketing like actually is helping people find things maybe that they did want. Like you get a lot of people searching for, they want a good set of headphones,
Mhm.
and it's just presenting yourself as a good pair of headphones.
Right.
Like you're not like tricking someone or like making convincing them to make a bad choice. You
Right.
are just saying, hey, we're an option
Mhm.
to consider. So a lot of people, or people might not need things, but they also might like things.
Right.
Um, like there are certain avenues of advertising that I consider maybe not that I really wouldn't do. Like I've gotten like some opportunities to do gambling ads, and I won't do
Oh,
those
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I personally just like don't want to promote gambling.
Me neither. Me
I
neither.
just don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know exactly what
because
you
I
mean.
don't think you should be advertising something that's and like if it were like alcohol ads, I'd be like, I don't know, I maybe, it. Of course, like each of these would be down to their own. Well, I say down to their own scenario. I probably wouldn't do gambling in any fashion ever.
Right.
That would probably be a line for me.
Mhm.
Um, but there are advertising. There are good advertisers, bad advertisers, good categories, bad categories.
Mhm.
I think the majority of people are just trying to get by, build a business, and try to find potential customers. Not necessarily people aren't really acting as bad actors. Even people who are running ads for gambling at the end of the day are like, it's their job and they are making money from it, even if it is promoting something that's maybe not as favorable
That's
or
fair.
maybe a little unsavory.
I just find that I guess sometimes I gotta say like survival of the fittest in the jungle because if person A is running a whatever energy some energy drink, right? And person B is running an energy drink, and person A is like, oh, I'll just let like word of mouth handle my energy drink. And the person B decides that no, they're gonna go in debt. They're gonna you know be running a deficit the entire time, and then pumping ads all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, like whether digital, whether CTV, meaning on Hulu or Amazon or whatever, they're just pumping ads. I feel like they're the winner. The way the Netflix went and stayed in debt for what 14, 15 years, insane amount of debts back then to produce like the really good quality original shows, but also to buy the rights to license all sorts of like really good stuff, as well as a bunch of nonsense that are B movies that would end up on DVD. But we used to watch those too, so we need somewhere to watch those. We don't have a
Yeah,
Blockbuster anymore.
and they were
So
first.
exactly. So they did all that, and then all of a sudden people get mad that Netflix the sheer amount of profit and profitability and money they make now because they completely dominated the market. And the other thing they did that I think only Disney has matched is they figured out the technology part. Every other streaming service, and I have like 9 of them, uh, messes up at some point. Netflix has messed
Yeah,
up maybe twice in its history. Like I think one was for the Tom Brady roast, maybe, and then another was like another big live football event or something, like or fight, Mike Tyson fight. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
yeah. I can understand like people's frustration with Netflix. Well, I
mm,
don't know if it's about Netflix in particular, but it
mhm,
is about like when you have like streaming was almost better as a monopoly in
right.
that well the
Mhm.
user experience was better
Yeah,
because you could find everything on Netflix.
yeah, yeah.
And now you can't because like, I'll type in a show and it'll give me
Mhm.
like from 199 on Amazon Prime,
Yeah,
uh Hulu premium subscription,
yeah,
like maybe it's on Disney Plus.
yeah.
And it's like and sometimes they don't have like one season of the show and I'm like,
Right.
why?
Exactly.
Amazon does this in particular
Mhm.
where it's like they'll be missing like 3 episodes from a season and I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
licensing. But
it,
here's the thing is it's the funny part is we started off with cable bundles and
yeah.
then now it's all split into silos, but they're rebundling. You can get so many weird bundles now. You can get like ESPN, Hulu, Disney, which they all are owned by Disney, right? But then in a weird way, you can get the HBO now mixed with this, and now Netflix bought HBO. Or wait, I don't think that deal. I think that deal actually, fell through. But if that deal had gone through, Netflix would own Time Warner, HBO, and so like it's just all these bundles again, like the old TV packages, and at some point, it's just going to be the just one package that has like all the streaming services again. It's just so funny. We just go inside. Honestly, sometimes I feel like we just do stuff to do stuff because there's like I think it's what Elon Musk said. Well, I remember once he said, "Well, if people don't produce stuff and do stuff, like nothing will get done. There's nothing to do." So, like I think sometimes they just create things just to create, just to move, just to keep the stuff moving. And I wish I had the kind of money and time that they have to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It all comes cable is inevitable.
Yes,
You
cable's inevitable.
cables.
Yeah. That's why I keep mine always, guys. Never cut your cable. Don't cut the cord,
God,
you youngins. Never cut the cord. We
I've never had
advertise with.
cable.
Oh my god, it's so great. The ads, Sam. You're missing the
Ugh.
ads.
I
How
like
do
a
you?
good ad, but like my parents watch TV, I go over
Mhm.
their house and it's like the
Right.
same ad over and over and over again. It's like, holy crap. It's like so much worse than when I was a kid.
Don't you? First of all, I'm getting hit a lot with a lot. You mentioned it the other day, and I'm noticing I'm getting hit a lot with the GLP ones now, like insane amount from, and it's coming from all my medical professionals as well. They're all like, "Hey, you have diabetes now. GLP-1, 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 GLP-1." And I remember the original commercial. It was like it wasn't even cool back then. It wasn't even Hollywood using it, etc. It was like 6 years ago, and it was like, "Oh, Zampic."
Yeah. I know the commercial. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And now it's everywhere. Like everywhere I turn, GLP-1 this, GLP-1, GLP-1. So it works, right?
Yeah. But from like God, all of these like pharmacies, like these just like random things like, this is like Jeff's 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 peptides.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, get your peptides. I'm like, I see them everywhere. It's
Everywhere.
like holy crap, there must be some serious money in those.
Yeah, also that new favored nations thing, dropped the prices so low that now we pay prices that other countries pay. So like, the one dose of GLP-1, I don't know what it is for the manufacturer or not for the administrator, the person that's selling it, but for the actual final consumer with or without insurance, it's like 50 to $70 now when it used to be like 1,500 per shot. So per month. So like that's such a huge openings that I don't know if you remember all those different when we used to do advertising for different pharmaceutical or birth control or whatnot, there were so many. Each competitor was like this RX and this RX whatever, and then when things were off label, as soon as it went like off label, bam, they're just promoting the living crap out of that one, and they're marking it up just enough to where there's still they're not charging an exorbitant amount. If they're getting it for like 25 bucks and they're charging 100 bucks, you know, dude, that's 75%. Well, it's not 75% markup, it's more than that. It's what 100 and wait, 300% markup, right? Like
Yeah, this
that
is
is, I don't care if something costs a penny. If you can make 300% on anything, you would just promote the living crap out of it everywhere you possibly could. 300%, 300%. Right?
yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
But yeah,
any other
and
topic? That was just three. That was three for today, right?
yeah, that was it for the topics. But yeah, just to note, like on ChatGPT, we will run your ChatGPT ads for 6 months for free with any other service bundled in, um, assuming
Ooh,
you let us do a case study on it.
oh, the bundles. Yeah. So just to re-explain what Sam means right here is, if you hire paid perceptions, which is us, to run Google ads, let's say, we will add running Chat GPT ads. You won't pay a management fee for running Chat GPT ads. You will pay your ad spend, or whatever, the $25 a day, or whatever or whatever you decide your ad spend, whatever we come up with as far as like a good strategy for your ad spend. But we won't charge you to run that platform. And then, but the caveat is that, if it goes well, which it hopefully does and will, then we get a case study out of it. And then, yeah, just that's a really good benefit offer that we have going on for the near future, especially while OpenAI is missing all their goals.
But yeah, hoping
We
we
gotta
can have
help.
a
We're trying to help them out. That's
yeah,
the only
trying to
reason
help
we're
them.
trying
Just
to help out
we're
OpenAI.
doing it only for what is, I forgot the word.
Benevolence, like
Yeah, only benevolent reasons we have.
yeah, we're good to OpenAI. Yeah, we just want to see them succeed.
Totally. As far as like company updates, mostly been posting mostly podcast updates this week on the channels and on the company page and everything, which I think has gone pretty well.
Yeah.
We got probably like a good couple thousand impressions on a lot of these, so we'll keep doing that. And we're gonna keep doing the podcast as well. We're live on. We were only last week. We were only live on X, but this time we're live on Twitch, X, and YouTube. Next week, hopefully, we'll be able to be live on TikTok as well. Add that to the mix. We did well. Yeah, we did our first Q&A for the Gainesville Chamber of Commerce
Oh yeah.
this Monday, which I think went pretty well.
Yep.
Um, and Dave's going to be giving a talk as well next
Yeah,
month.
I'll be talking at the Gainesville Chamber of Commerce. This is more for in-person people that live in Gainesville, which is pretty rare. But if the case was, it's actually, you know, it's actually a full house, so there's no, no actual way to see or witness the talk. But know that it's happening. It's limited to 30 people, and they're already spoken for at this point. But yeah, I'll be talking just about implementing different AI into the workplace in a way that does a force multiplying, and not to replace human beings, but to enhance human beings. Um, and then representing the agency as well. And then it's funny, just now, I just got texted by my friend who watched the last episode and found the M dash section very funny, about using M dashes and AI using M dashes. So I totally forgot about that part till right now. I just got a text. Yeah, really, it's an SEO guy, I guess. Maybe he deals with a lot of writing and stuff with AI as well. So he's saying he's bringing back the M dash as well. So anyway, anything else, Sam?
Um, just like some organic learnings that might be like interesting.
Hmm.
By the way, if you post something, even if it's a good clip on LinkedIn on the weekend, it's probably not going to do well,
Mm.
which I know is probably a shocker to everyone. But I'll have you know, I'm something of a marketer myself.
That's
Uh,
funny. What do you
people
think the best day to post something like that on LinkedIn is? Probably like a Monday or Friday.
probably like Tuesday
Oh, Tuesday. So people are
is
like
my
settled back
guess,
in. Yeah.
but I don't know yet. But I guess we will find out, won't we?
I'll tell you one thing though, and I'm guilty of this, but it's never happening again. I'm so tired of those long LinkedIn posts, man. Like just get to the point. Like, and I'm a long-winded guy. But on video, that's different. Like, and I did it in writing, and I was like, "What am I doing?" Like, no one. Why would anybody open this up like and keep reading? Just keep it above the fold. Maybe if they click it, they'll be pleasantly surprised if there's like one other line below the fold, and then a video or something or a picture. Just guys, like the long LinkedIn posts. I get it. You're all Substack like pros, but like keep it on Substack then. Like, I'm trying to get through my day. Like Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it is. Like, I'm just trying to get through my day. Don't try to suck me in. I'm not going to read it. I'm not anymore. Not me. No, I'm done. I'm not going
It's
to read my
like
anymore, even if I do
it's like
it.
open a post, you know, it's literal wall of text, takes up my entire screen, and then like you see the like the bullet points with the emojis like ChatGPT does, and you're like,
Yeah.
I see what this
I see
is.
exactly what this is. It's so terrible. No, stop, guys. Stop. Or again, if you're marketers or whatever, just keep doing it. Just please just keep doing it. I did find out from a housekeeping note as well. I did find out, which I didn't know. I didn't know that we could tag like that I could tag paid perceptions in my post, which I do now every
Yeah,
time. Like that I didn't actually know that. I thought that you could only like at people. I didn't know you could at a company because what if a company doesn't want you to at them? Like imagine the legal stuff. Like do people get hit with that? Like I wonder.
I doubt it. I mean, I added
Oh yeah,
RDM,
that's right.
but
Well, if you guys want to know about that story, watch one of our clips or watch the last episode, and you'll hear all about
yep.
it. All
I
right.
think that's it for this week.
All right, cool. Well, it was a pleasure, Sam. As usual, and to everybody else, see you later from my end.
Yep. See you later. Bye.
Support